dreaming of trading that, say, 30% body fat for a glimpse of a six-pack at 10%.
Yeah, it sounds like a huge leap, doesn't it?
It really does. It could feel like scaling a mountain, and you're probably wondering, what's the very first step?
We get it. The journey can definitely seem overwhelming.
But today, we're diving deep into a surprisingly simple initial strategy.
One focused on changes you can actually stick with, not those like overnight transformations.
Exactly. We're zeroing in on those crucial first moves for someone maybe around 30% body fat,
Right.
who wants to head towards a healthier, leaner build, maybe with that 10% target in mind for men.
And what's really important, based on our source material today, is understanding that how you start when you have significant fat to lose, well, it's different.
Different from how someone with less fat fine-tunes their physique.
Exactly. The strategies just aren't the same in the beginning.
Okay. And to guide us, we're looking at insights from fitness expert Sal Di Stefano.
He's laid out some core principles for this initial phase.
And we're going to focus on what he says should be the top priorities for someone who's just beginning. Maybe not exercising at all right now.
Or, not really paying close attention to what they eat.
Right. So this deep dive is specifically for you, the listener, the person who wants to learn effectively.
And efficiently, without getting sort of lost in the weeds.
We're here to pull out the most vital information and present it in a way that's clear, engaging.
And hopefully gives you those valuable aha moments.
Okay, so someone at 30% body fat aiming for 10%. That's a real transformation.
It is a significant change.
Our source highlights that this initial strategy is key and different. So what are some common mistakes people make? Like trying to do too much too fast at the start.
Oh, definitely. A key thing to understand here is the temptation to jump straight into very advanced techniques.
Like what? What do people try?
Well, people often think, okay, really lean people are on super strict diets and doing hours of cardio.
Right, so that must be what I need to do now for fast results.
Exactly. But our source makes it really clear that this kind of all-out approach right from the start, it often backfires.
How so? It feels counterintuitive. Like, maximum effort should mean maximum results, shouldn't it?
Well, if we look at the bigger picture, the body needs time. It needs time to adapt to big changes in lifestyle.
Okay.
Shocking it with a massive calorie drop and, a sudden huge increase in intense exercise,
Yeah.
it can actually lead to hitting a wall, like really quickly, a plateau.
Yeah, okay. Makes sense.
Plus, think about it making such drastic changes all at once. That's a huge departure from your current habits.
So it's incredibly hard to maintain.
Exactly. The risk of just burning out and giving up is, well, it's very high.
Okay, so it's about starting smaller with more manageable changes then.
That's the idea. Sustainable steps.
What does our expert say should be the absolute first area someone focuses on if they're at this starting point? Yeah. Not exercising, not really watching their diet.
According to our source, the very first priority should be to start building strength. In the gym.
Strength training. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. For someone at around 30% body fat who isn't currently exercising, the recommendation is clear. Begin strength training about 2 to 3 times per week.
My first thought might have been, focus on cardio, burn calories for fat loss. Why lead with strength?
That brings up a really, really important point about building a solid physical foundation first.
Okay.
The initial goals aren't primarily about burning a massive number of calories right away.
Right, so what are they?
Instead, it's about developing stability in your movements, improving the health and function of your joints, and gaining the necessary mobility to perform basic exercises correctly and safely.
So like prepping the body for more work later.
Precisely. Even in exercises that help correct posture and movement patterns, those are considered a form of strength training, and they're absolutely foundational.
Okay.
Think of it like constructing a building. You have to have a strong base before you can put up the walls. Right?
Yeah, that makes total sense.
So the key insight here is that building this foundational strength, it's actually going to accelerate your long-term progress more than immediately just trying to burn calories with cardio.
Okay, got it. Foundation first. So what kind of progress should someone look for in these early weeks, these early months, if they're just starting strength training?
Building on that foundation idea, strength gains become a really useful and reliable way to measure progress.
More reliable than the mirror, you mean?
Yeah, exactly. Unlike looking in the mirror, which can be misleading when you have more body fat.
How so?
Well, you get fluctuations in water weight or maybe small changes in muscle mass that aren't visible yet. The mirror can mess with your head sometimes.
Okay.
But actually getting stronger, being able to lift a little more weight, do a few more repetitions, or even just move through an exercise with better control,
Yeah.
that clearly shows you're on the right track. It's objective progress.
So it's less about how you look initially and more about what your body becomes capable of doing.
Precisely. And there are some really beneficial knock-on effects, too.
Like what?
Well, strength training has a positive impact on something called insulin sensitivity.
Okay, what's that?
Basically, how well your body responds to insulin, the hormone that helps regulate blood sugar.
Right.
Improved insulin sensitivity actually supports making healthier food choices. It helps your body handle nutrients better.
Interesting.
Plus, exercise in general is great for your mood.
Uh-huh.
And that boost definitely helps when you're trying to stick with new habits like dietary changes.
Okay, so strength training is the cornerstone for this initial phase.
Got it. What about diet then? Our source mentions a couple of key dietary changes to prioritize right away.
Yep. The first dietary recommendation is pretty straightforward. Really focus on reducing the amount of heavily processed foods you're eating.
Just cutting back on junk food, basically.
Essentially, yeah. The thinking behind this is that these foods are often very high in calories, but not very filling, right?
True. Easy to overeat. So by cutting them out, or at least significantly reducing them, you'll likely naturally reduce your overall calorie intake.
Without having to meticulously count calories right from the get-go.
Exactly. It's a simpler first step.
Okay. That sounds very achievable for most people. What's the second dietary priority our expert recommends?
The second crucial piece is to prioritize getting enough protein with each meal.
Protein. Okay, how much are we talking?
The guideline suggested is aiming for roughly your target body weight in grams of protein per day.
Target body weight, not current weight.
Generally target, as a goal to aim for. Spread it out across your meals. So for example, if someone weighs 180 pounds and that's their approximate goal weight,
Right.
they might aim for around, say, 50 grams of protein at breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Okay.
And maybe add a protein shake with 20, 30 grams as well if needed to hit that total.
Why is getting enough protein so important during this initial phase? What does it do?
Well, if we connect this back to the importance of strength training.
Right, the muscle building.
Exactly. Protein is absolutely essential for helping your muscles recover and grow after those workouts.
Makes sense.
And building even a little bit of muscle. That can help boost your metabolism over time.
Oh, interesting. So it helps burn more calories even at rest.
Potentially, yeah. It's really valuable for future fat loss phases.
Yeah.
Also, protein is very satiating.
Meaning it helps you feel fuller.
Fuller for longer, yes. Which can naturally help regulate your appetite and reduce your overall food intake. You're just less hungry.
Okay.
Our source even recommends prioritizing eating your protein first within a meal before moving on to other foods like carbs or fats.
Eat the chicken breast before the potatoes kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah. The idea is to make sure you get that protein in to maximize the satiating effect, initially without super strict restrictions on other whole natural foods.
Interesting. So, okay, strength training, focus on whole unprocessed foods, hit those protein targets. What about other activity like going for runs, elliptical, that sort of thing?
Yeah, the typical cardio.
Should someone at 30% body fat be adding that in right from day one?
Initially, the recommendation from our source is actually to hold off.
Really? Hold off on cardio.
Hold off on adding structured cardio beyond the strength training sessions, yeah. The first step when it comes to overall activity
Yes.
is simply to start tracking your daily steps.
Just see where you're at currently.
Exactly. Get a baseline. Understand how much you're currently moving throughout your day.
Okay.
From there, the idea is you might gradually increase your steps.
Oh.
Through simple things,
Right.
like parking a little further away from the store entrance, taking the stairs, maybe going for short walks after meals.
Little changes that add up.
Right. But only after you have a good sense of your starting point. Don't just guess.
Okay, so get a handle on your current movement before layering on more structured exercise like running. That makes sense.
It avoids overwhelming you initially.
Now, as someone starts putting these changes into place, the strength training, the diet shifts, what kind of results should they realistically expect in the first few weeks or months? How quickly?
Okay, good question. According to our source, a healthy and sustainable rate of fat loss is generally around 1 to 2 pounds of body fat per week.
1 to 2 pounds. Okay.
However, and this is really important, keep in mind that in the early stages,
Yeah.
especially if someone is new to strength training, the number on the scale might not immediately reflect pure fat loss.
Why not?
Because they might also be gaining some muscle mass at the same time.
Ah, the body recomposition thing.
Exactly. Body recomposition, you're improving your ratio of muscle to fat, which is a fantastic result.
So the scale might stay the same or even go up slightly, but you're still losing fat and gaining muscle.
It's definitely possible in beginners, yeah, which is why.
In the beginning, the focus shouldn't solely be on that number staring back at you from the scale.
Exactly right. Don't live and die by the scale number, especially early on.
So what should people pay attention to?
Pay attention to how you feel, your energy levels, how your clothes are fitting. That's often a big one.
Right, the waistband test.
Totally. And definitely those strength gains we talked about earlier, getting stronger is clear progress.
Okay, so you might notice clothes feeling looser, even if the scale hasn't moved much.
Absolutely. Those non-scale victories are super important for motivation.
This whole approach, it sounds very measured, very sustainable.
That's the goal.
Our expert even says something like, the right way is the faster way. Can you unpack that a bit? It sounds a little paradoxical.
Yeah, it does seem that way, but it points to another crucial aspect, the long-term view.
Okay.
While the allure of rapid weight loss through, very extreme diets or tons of exercise can be strong.
Sure, people want results fast.
Of course. But those approaches often lead to significant muscle loss alongside fat loss.
Which isn't ideal.
Not at all. And they're incredibly difficult to stick with over time. You rebound. So the gradual foundational approach we're discussing, focusing on building strength, eating whole foods, prioritizing protein.
The sustainable stuff.
Exactly. It's presented as the most sustainable path, and because you can stick with it, and because you're building a healthier metabolism along the way.
Yeah.
In the long run, it actually turns out to be the most effective and therefore kind of the fastest way to achieve genuine, lasting fat loss and then maintain it.
So rushing often leads to backtracking, while the steady approach keeps you moving forward consistently.
That's a great way to put it. You're building a healthy foundation for continued lasting progress, not just a quick fix.
Okay, so this initial phase is all about laying that groundwork, building that foundation. What happens next? What do the subsequent steps look like once someone has built this base? Our source gives a brief overview.
Right. So after establishing this initial foundation, you're strength training consistently, you've improved your food quality, you're hitting protein targets, maybe moving more.
Yeah, you've got the basics down.
Then the next phases tend to involve a bit more precision and a deeper understanding of your body's specific responses.
Okay, like what?
Well, this might include starting to track your food intake more closely, calories, macros, to really understand your energy balance.
Getting more specific with the numbers.
Exactly. And interestingly, the next step could even involve a period of gradually increasing your calorie intake.
To lose fat.
Yeah, through a process sometimes known as reverse dieting.
Reverse dieting. Okay, that sounds completely counterintuitive. How does that work?
It does seem that way on the surface, right? But the idea is to carefully and slowly increase calories, usually alongside continued strength training, to support muscle growth, potentially increase your body's energy expenditure, your metabolism, before maybe entering another phase of calorie reduction.
So you're kind of building the metabolism back up after a period of eating less, or just priming it.
Kind of priming it, yeah. Or recovering from a deficit. It often becomes a bit of a cyclical process. Cutting calories strategically when you want to actively lose fat, and then potentially using periods like reverse dieting to recover, build muscle, and prime your body for the next cut phase.
So it's not just one long calorie cut forever.
Definitely not. And as your body fat percentage gets lower, say as you get closer to that 10% mark, a much more precise approach to managing your caloric intake typically becomes necessary. The margins for error get smaller.
Okay, so it gets more detailed and specific as you progress.
Precisely. But this initial phase we focused on, it's all about getting your body and your habits ready for those more targeted interventions down the line, setting the stage.
Got it. All right, let's bring this back home for our listener then. If you're the person starting around that 30% body fat mark, maybe you have sights set on a leaner physique like 10%. What are the absolute key takeaways from this initial phase we've discussed?
Okay, number one, if you're starting around 30% body fat, please resist the urge to overhaul everything at once. Remember, small, consistent changes are what will actually get you there.
Start small. Be consistent. Got it.
Number two, your first priority should be establishing a strength training routine. Aim for about 2-3 times per week. This builds that essential physical foundation and helps boost your metabolism long term.
Prioritize strength training.
Okay. Third, focus on incorporating more whole natural foods into your diet. Reduce the heavily processed stuff and make a conscious effort to hit your protein targets with each meal.
Whole foods and protein. Why again?
Helps manage hunger, keeps you full, and supports muscle growth from the strength training.
Right. Makes sense. What else?
Fourth, activity. Begin by simply tracking how many steps you're currently taking each day. Get that baseline. Then look for easy ways to gradually increase your daily movement. Don't jump into intense cardio right away.
Track steps. Move more gradually.
Okay.
And maybe most importantly, be patient. Be patient with the process. Understand that in the early days, the best indicators of progress might be how you feel, your energy levels, your clothes fitting better, and those gains in strength.
Not just the number you see on the scale. Exactly. The scale doesn't tell the whole story, especially at first.
And the final takeaway.
Remember that taking the sustainable right approach, the foundational approach, is ultimately the most effective and, in the long run, the fastest way to achieve your long-term goals and actually keep them.
Okay, fantastic. So we've really dug into those critical first steps for anyone beginning that journey, maybe from a higher body fat percentage towards a healthier, leaner state.
Yeah, the emphasis is clear. Foundational strength, smart dietary shifts focused on whole foods and protein, and gradual increases in activity.
It really offers a clear and hopefully manageable starting point.
Absolutely. You now have a solid understanding of where to begin.
So maybe take a moment now to consider which of these initial steps feels most doable for you right now.
Yeah, what's one small change you could realistically put into action today or this week?
We really encourage you to think about your current habits and how you might begin to incorporate these foundational principles.
And what questions do these initial steps bring up for you? It's natural to have them.
Definitely. We'd be really interested to hear your thoughts, and perhaps we can explore those later phases of this journey in future deep dives.
Yeah, absolutely. Remember, this is all about making sustainable progress.
And building a healthier relationship with your body over the long haul, not just a quick sprint.
Exactly. It's a marathon. Build that base first.